we have Denny Bernardo from philstar.com. So Denny, it's the same as it is with the questions with the fans earlier on. Make sure you address to the Queen, and you can also introduce yourself as well.
Hi, good morning. I'm Denny Bernardo, Mrs. Universe from Makati. This question is for both Miss Zozy and Rabiya. Can you tell us about how your Miss Universe role was during the pandemic?
So I'll go first. Actually, it was different. I had a different crowning moment, and something that I realized is that even we're in a pandemic, even though we are in this moment, beauty pageants are still relevant in our society. So during my reign, I was able to work with different local government units. I was able to still travel the country, of course, with restrictions, because I really need to be careful. I need to protect my health first. But doing things like this, I went to Bicol, I went to Cebu. I realized that Filipinos really love pageantry. And whenever they see a beauty queen, it gives them hope. It gives them like a sense of, okay, there's still a chance to do something good in our life. And that is the most powerful tool, that is to transform their perspective during these difficult times.
Love that answer. How about you, Ms. Zozy?
For me, I think one of the most incredible things to come out of this year was, in as much as we were going through a crisis, this was the first time that the whole world was going through the same thing. And so that really forced all of us to come together and to unite and to fight for the same cause. And so for me, that was so beautiful to be a part of, in also creating the Universe United platform to say, here we are so different, yet we are so alike. We come from different backgrounds, different countries, different sexual orientations, and all of those things. But here's this one thing that we were all battling with, and I was just there in the middle of it. And I was so proud, to be able to unite people and bring people together during this time. I'm so happy to have lent my voice to, gender inequality, gender-based violence as well. I've done so much work this past year with the United Nations and United Nations Women, along with their groups of the African Union and so many other unions across the world. And so to have been able to use my voice and to contribute to those causes during this time, because those were such important causes, because as the numbers of COVID numbers increased, we were forced to stay at home. And so many women were forced to be at home with their abusers. So many children were forced to be at home with their abusers. And so it was just a horrible time. And I was able to help, not only raise awareness, but raise funds with some organizations as well, to help out with those causes. And so there's a lot that happened this year. It was horrible, but most of it, a lot of good came from it.
Oh, I love that also. Denny, what a wonderful question. Thank you so much. Now we're moving on to Nico Tuazan of pep.ph. You may now unmute and you can address your question to your specific queen.
Hi, Queens, again. Nice to meet you both. So my name is Nico from pep.ph. My question is for Miss Universe 2019, Zozy. What's your advice to the 72 amazing candidates aiming to win the Miss Universe 2020 title, including Rabiya?
Oh, my biggest advice is to, one, I want to let them know that they have already done such an impeccable job by firstly winning their own national pageants, and the work and the training that Rabiya was speaking about. They have done all of that. So by the time that you get to the Miss Universe location, be ready to compete, but also just know that you've already worked hard. So make those memories and don't forget to have fun, because sometimes when you forget to have fun, you work yourself up and you panic. And then you end up probably not doing well in your interviews or not doing well on stage. So be ready mentally to get into that interview room to do the best that you possibly can. And once that is done, when you are on stage, you've done everything you can. So that is the final stage. Have fun, let people see your heart, and yeah, just do things that you will be proud of when you get there. And that is really my biggest advice. Don't let a lot of noise get to you. Oh, my second biggest advice is, we love pageant fans and we love pageant pages, but if you feel like they are not doing well for your mental health when you are competing, it's okay sometimes to unfollow them for a little while. And it's okay sometimes not even to unfollow, just like don't pay attention to what people are saying to you during that time, because it is you who's competing. You have to be there. Thank them for their support. Thank them for being there, because we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't, for the Miss Universe fans, and we appreciate them. But if you're getting a lot of negative energy and it is disrupting you from competing, it's okay to kind of build the walls and focus on yourself during the time of competing. Don't let the noises disturb you from doing your best work.
Great question. And you know what? I feel like Ms. Zozi is like talking to me one-on-one, coaching me in my life like one-on-one, because you can apply that not just in the competition. Seriously, like that tip goes on for everyone. Not even like I'm not going for Miss U, but I feel like yes, I won't pay attention to them. Yes, I'll just work my way. So really great question to Nico for that. Thank you so much. We're gonna move on now to Drew Francisco of Mississology, Philippines. So Drew, again, same thing. Unmute and then pose your question to your specific queen. Drew, are you there? Drew looks at yeah, Drew. Please unmute yourself. I think there we go. Oh no, can you hear? Can anyone hear Drew? I cannot hear Drew. Hello. Can anyone else hear Drew? It looks like just double checking. Drew, can you so Drew, we can't hear you. Can you try again, like fixing the mic or something? You test it out. We see it clearly though. Oh no, we can't hear you. Let's see if I can move on first to our next question while Drew fixes it up. Can someone from our technical team help Drew out first? So we'll get back to you, Drew. Don't worry. We will get back to you. Let's move on first to Tristan and Gerard. Don't cry, Drew. Tristan and Gerard of the Philippine Pageantry. We'll go to you first while Drew tries to fix his mic. Tristan and Gerard, same rules. Unmute your mic and then pose your question here specifically.
Hello. Yes. Nice meeting you, Miss Zozi, Miss Universe. And Rabiya, nice seeing you again. This is Tristan Francisco from TTT Media, the Philippine Pageantry. And I am with my co-correspondent from Vietnam, Mr. Gerard Rui Vivar. Our question is, 50 years, or let's say 20 years from now, Miss Zozi and Miss Rabiya, you have a chance to talk to the younger generation, to the young Zozis and young Rabiyas. What specific lessons have you learned as Miss Universe and Miss Philippines will you impart to these young girls?
So we can have first Miss Zozi to answer, and then Miss Rabiya.
Is the question, what knowledge would I impart to someone in the next 50 years?
Something that you have learned as Miss Universe that 50 years from now, or maybe not just say 20 years from now, that you will say to a young girl talking to you, specific lesson that you will remember in your time as Miss Universe?
Absolutely. I think one thing that I would tell someone very young that I've learned during this time is that there's not a single thing that you can do alone as a human being. You will always need a village. You will always need people, to push you forward. There's a saying that if you want to go fast, you can go alone. If you want to go further, take people with you. And so I think that was my mantra that I learned this year, is that we can accomplish so much more if we do it together, if we unite, and if we have one voice. There's so many things that we can accomplish. And I think the second thing that I've learned this year is that just because it doesn't affect you doesn't mean it's not real. And what that means is, just because something is not happening to you doesn't mean you cannot lend a voice to it. And again, I'm going to go back to the Asian hate. I'm going to go back to LGBTQ rights. I'm going to go back to Black Lives Matter. Just because you're not of Asian descent, just because you're not a Black person, just because you're not a part of the LGBTQ plus community, doesn't mean you have to keep quiet and stand on the sidelines when those people are fighting. And so for me, that's what I learned this year, is that if we're going to be fighting social injustices, our voices matter when we unite, because they are louder and because they just reach so much more spaces. And so that's my biggest lesson. Just because it doesn't affect me doesn't mean it's not real.
I love that. And I think that inspires us in such a timely manner as well. I know you aren't Miss Universe yet, hoping you are going to be, but as representing the Philippines, how about you, Miss Rabiya?
If I were given the chance to talk to a younger version of Rabiya, I would remind her to love herself, because you cannot give something that you don't have. You really need to realize that as a person, you yourself is beautiful and you are already a wonderful being. And sometimes other people would try to crash that, would make you realize that you are not good enough, that you will never be enough for them. But you just need to realize that there's so much power in you that you possess. And once you reach that point of acknowledgement, that is the best moment for you to give back to other people. Once you experience success in life, it is best shared. It is best experienced when you share it to other people. So always try to be a blessing. Channel yourself to what you can offer to your community, to create sparks in the heart of people. Because you don't need to be Miss Philippines for you to become somebody. Every day is an opportunity for you to touch lives of people. That is an opportunity for you to grow, to develop, and choose to be kind. Always remember that. Choose to be kind. We need more love and kindness in this world, especially during these moments.
I love that. You can start right now after this live as well. And thank you so much for Tristan Gerard for that question. We're going to go back to Drew. I think Drew was able to plug back his mic. Let's have our fingers crossed. Drew, are you there? Drew! Oh no. If I could draw you a mic, Drew, can you test out your mic again? Unmute yourself and pose your question. Oh no. Okay. But I do have Drew's question with me. It was sent in by our director. I'm gonna ask this and pose this on your behalf, Drew, from Missosology.
Hi, Pia.
Oh, there we go. Is it Drew?
No. This is actually Amir
no.
from Missosology, Drew's companion.
Go ahead, Amir.
Yeah.
If you can ask the question.
So, in behalf of Drew, I asked the question. I am also Amir from Missosology. Drew is asking for Zuzi and at the same time for Bia. So, despite the pandemic, both of you have done a lot and inspired people from across the globe to take up space in the society. Aside from the longest reigning Miss Universe in history, and for Rabiya as the Miss Universe Philippines and hopefully the next Miss Universe, how do you want people to remember you guys?
So I guess we can first ask it to Miss Rabiya, and then we can ask it to Miss Zozi. So Miss Rabiya, take it away.
I'm so sorry about that. Well, I want people to remember me as somebody who has genuine intentions to the crown. And, I'm just given 1 year to reign, 1 year to be Miss Philippines. But the actions that I was able to do for other people, the call of kindness that I was able to transpire with my wisdom and with the strength that I have, it speaks a lot. And I want my legacy to live forever, if you know what I mean. It's about trying to do something little ways in little means, and then it will be able to help other people. And kindness and generosity is contagious. I want people to remember me not as the most beautiful face in the Philippines, but as a blessing who actually did something for her community.
Wow,
Thank you so much, Miss Rabiya. Next up, I love your background, by the way. Love it. Then we can go to Miss Zosie.
Thank you so much. I love the background too, by the way.
And you will love the crown.
Who is that queen behind you? Oh my god, so pretty. What I want, I love the crown as well. Oh my goodness, it looks so real. Oh,
It's real.
fantastic. I love it. I love it. What I would like to be remembered by is when people think of me, I want them to know that I contributed towards society in the most positive way. I want them to know that I was an agent of positive change, because I truly believe that as individuals, as we are born into this world or into this universe, we are born with a purpose. We come here because we have something that we have to fulfill. And it's something that is much larger than ourselves. It is to contribute to the universe and to the world, and to make sure that we inspire social change. And so that's what I want people to think about when they think of me. You know, she came, she inspired so much social change. She contributed all that she could. And she was that catalyst for just positive impact into the world. And so that's the kind of legacy that I want to live. I don't want to be just a number and a statistic, that she was just here. What did she do when she was here, I think, is what matters the most. And so when people think of me, I want them to think of that. They want them to look at me and be like, she was a champion of, positive change in the world. And yeah, I hope that's how people can continue to see me.
I love that. Came, conquered, contributed. The 3 C's. And yeah, by the way, reminding everyone that you can catch the 69th Miss Universe National Costume Show on May 14th. This is Manila time, all right? And the swimwear and evening gown preliminary competition on May 15th. So you can do it via Laz Live or Lazada's YouTube and Facebook page. Now we're going to move on back to the Queen in Red, Cindy Lopez of Cosmo PH, to ask your question.
Hi again, guys. I'm Cindy from Cosmo. My question is for Queen Rabiya. So for sure, your team had to change up your training process for Miss Universe because of the many lockdowns we face in the Philippines. Can you share how your team took on these challenges and how you overcame them?
Actually, to be completely honest, we had a lot of plans. They were planning to give me photo shoots with big names in the industry. They were also planning to have a grand media conference, but we need to take several steps behind, because they want to protect me. They really want to ensure that my health comes first. That's why we decided to be here in the US earlier than expected. But what I love about my organization is that they help me in the best way possible. They provide everything for me. And it means a lot, to have that bunch of people who supports you, who really wants you to win. It really motivates me. And now things are done virtually, even my trainings. But these are the people that, I don't even pay them. They get nothing from me. But their heart is to serve. And they're doing this also for the love of our country. So it gives me the motivation to really do my assignment well, to make the Filipinos proud. And I hope on May 16, I make you all guys proud.
You will, and you already are. I can assure you of that. Thank you so much, Cindy, for that question. We're moving on to Brix Vera and Carl Capellan of the Sash Factor. Go ahead, you can unmute yourselves, and what was your question?
Yes. Hi everyone. Hi Zozi. And my question is for Rabiya. Hi Rabiya.
Okay. Hi, Brix.
Hi. My question is Philippines as a powerhouse country. Do you feel the pressure of being Miss Universe Philippines as early as now?
Definitely. Definitely. I know every Miss Philippines has been in this position. And I would always remind myself that this is an opportunity for me to show who I am as Rabia and not as a copycat of somebody else. I wouldn't allow myself to be into a mold of somebody who is not me. And the pressure is there simply because Philippines is a pageant loving country and we really want to win. You know, I want to win. I want to make you all proud. And at the end of the day, we need to realize that it's also about destiny. And I know in myself, I did my part as a candidate. I worked really hard. I sweat. I cried a lot of tears just to be the phenomenal woman that I can be to represent our country. And as of the moment, what I've been thinking is that I need to enjoy this journey. The pressure is there, but I'm a very competitive person. It gives me that motivation that okay, there's still progress. Even up to the last day, I can still do something to improve myself and to bring home the crown.
Yes, girl, and I can't wait to catch you live. By the way, I want to invite everybody to vote also, right? For your favorite delegate, Miss Rabia, into the top 21 via Lazada for the Philippines and via Miss Universe voting page, and also Choicely for the rest of the world too. I think we should do a voting in every single way we can to make sure Rabia's destiny unfolds to how we would love to see it. But right now, we do want to have a quick photo up before my makeup melts as well. We want to have a quick photo up with everybody gathered in the room. So go ahead. I'll give you a few seconds to turn on your videos. So turn on your video screens, your camera, and make sure that you are ready to flash that wonderful. Ayan na, nag-aayos na. We are fixing the hair. Nico's fixing his blonde locks. Oh, we have a little sign here from Angela saying, "We love you, Miss Zozibini." And he says, "And the best of luck, magandang dilag." Rabiya Mateo. Such a cute sign that they made. All right, I think we are ready. Let's do a smiling pose in 3, in 2, and in 1. Smile, you guys. All right, take the first photo, the second photo. Okay, now we have our crowns. Let's have a crown pose now. All right, we love this. We feel it. Okay, back in 3, 2, 1. All right, in 3, in 2, and in 1. Yes, yes, Queen, indeed. And there, thank you so much for giving us the time to take photos as well. Now let's continue on with the questions. I think these questions are also for Miss Rabia, the last few ones. So we're gonna move on to, I think we have Jessica Pagiwayan of Manila Bulletin to ask her question for Miss Rabia. Go ahead, take it away.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Hi, Rabia. My question is, what are the top 3 tips or reminder your mom has given you for the biggest fight of your life as a beauty queen?
Well, she's my mom, so she gave me a lot of advice. So one great thing that I remember is that she told me to have that humble heart. That regardless of what happens, I need to see this as an opportunity for me. Because, things can go differently, than what is expected. And once you have that humble heart, you know in yourself that you are not perfect, but you are there for a reason, for a purpose. And she would always remind me that I need to listen to the people who matters the most. People who really wants me to win, people who really want me to be the best version of who I am. And lastly, one great advice is to always pray to God. Because sometimes, the voices in the world is so much louder than who you want to be. So sometimes it confuses you. But I realize that every time I meditate and I talk to God, I have clear vision of what I want this journey to become. And I really love my mama. She's a single parent, and Miss Universe is actually near Mother's Day. So I hope that it's also my gift to her. I offer this fight, this biggest fight of my life, to make my mama proud.
The best Mother's Day present ever, and I think that touched our hearts as well. I love that. Thank you so much for that question, Jessica. And then we're gonna move on to Arvin Cavachete of Entertainment News Portal to ask your question.
My first question is for Rabiya. Rabiya, so what are the qualities of being a Filipina on the Miss Universe stage? And then for Zuzi, so after the Miss Universe reign, so what are your plans then after?
So, Miss Rabia?
There's a lot of things that I do celebrate as a Filipina, but I realize that we really do work hard in the things that we want. Filipinas don't settle for less. We always try to achieve greater things in life. And I want people to realize that at least we live in a country in which, there's equal opportunity for men and women in a lot of fields. And that is also a great lesson to let the world know, to let the universe know that, once a Filipina puts her heart into something, she will be able to achieve anything in life.
I love that. Thank you so much, Rabia. And finally, Ms. Zozi?
For Zuzi?
Yes, thank you. What I will be doing after Miss Universe, so many exciting things coming up, some things that I cannot really speak about right now, but mostly I will be going into the television space. I've found such a passion for that, and it will definitely
Good luck.
next I'm conquering. I want to explore with music as well and see what I can do with that, because I absolutely love to sing and I love music. I am a humanitarian at heart, and so I will always, be fighting a cause for just human rights in general. And so that's something that I will continue to do. Hopefully extend my relationship with United Nations women.
Thank you.
So wonderful to hear your plans. I can't wait. We're already probably all following you already, so we can't wait to see all of that come true. I know that you have to leave now, but before you go first, Ms. Ozi, do you have any final message to our fans here today?
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. I want to thank you so much for being here today. Like I said, you guys are the backbone of, pageantry. Without the fans, really, what is Miss Universe? And so I just want to say I'm grateful for the messages of love that you send every day, and for your undying, passion and compassion towards the girls that come here. So I want to thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Keep up doing the positive work, because there's so many people who are spreading negative messages to the queens, and to everyone who's doing positively and making sure that we receive those positive messages. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Thank you to Lazada for putting this together. I had so much fun today chatting and answering the questions and being a part of the pageant walks as well. That was fantastic. So thank you for this lovely and wonderful initiative. Rabia, you look absolutely fabulous. You are so beautiful inside out, and I wish you the best of luck with the pageant on May 16th.
Thank you so much, Ms. Zozi. Now, before we go, how do we say thank you in your language? I'd love to say that to you before we let you go.
You say Nkosi.
Nkosi. Nkosi. Nkosi. Nkosi. Thank you so much, Ms. Zozi. We'll see you in our TV screens, in our cell phone screens.
And teach me to say goodbye in your language too.
Oh, well, it depends. But I think, Miss Rabia, how is the best way to say goodbye or see you later in Tagalog? How would you want to say that?
Paalam sa inyong lahat.
Oh my God. Okay.
Paalam or paalam?
I start again.
Paalam.
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 Yeah.
Oh, okay. Paalam. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our reigning queen. We'll see you. Thank you for giving your time with us. And now that Zozi will be leaving the Zoom call, we still have our queen Rabiya here answering one more final question from this one's from Benji Heronima of Pageantology 101. So, Miss Rabiya, Mr. Benji, you can pose your question.
Yes. Good evening there, Rabiya. This is Benji Geronimo of Pageantology 101, and I'm actually based here in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And my question for you is actually related to all of us here, OFWs. So during this pandemic, many Filipino overseas workers have been affected massively. So what is your message of hope to all of us OFWs here?
First of all, I just want to acknowledge the hardships that you guys have been given just to provide something to your family, just to provide food on your family's plate. And because of that, you guys are our modern heroes. You make our economy run, and thank you so much for the sacrifices you've done to be a stranger in a foreign land just to make your dreams come true. And during this moment, I know that it's hard. I know it's hard to lose your jobs. I had a lot of friends who are starting to be anxious about the future, about the uncertainty that it holds. But always remember that for every setback, that is a setback for us to bounce back. You know, a setup for us to bounce back so much stronger. And there's always opportunities in life. We are Filipinos. We can adapt to situations like this. We are creative. And by doing so, just find something that you are really passionate about. You will be able to plant a seed and blossom hope, not just to yourself, but also to the people around you.
I love that. Truly beauty and brains. It was great being able to ask you these wonderful questions as well, and spending a moment with us just like one-on-one. So before we go though, first we'd like to express our gratitude for Lazada's Chief Marketing Officer, Mr. Neil Trinidad, for making all of this possible. And Sir Neil, Lazada GCs naman dyan. Joke lang. But actually, for our winners earlier on, I think that was si Arvin, and also Rabiya, who was your pick again? Who won the catwalk? Mark. Yes, they will both be able to get GCs. Yes, ang bag ni Sir Neil Trinidad. Only price Sir Neil. Yes. GCs pa more. But yes, before we send them off, Mr. Bia, since we still have you, we'd love to hear your final message to your fans here, really supporting you along the way.
Ms. Jazz, allow me to speak our language. And I don't want to be emotional right now. I feel like this is my parang send-off party.
Go lang, yes!
Maraming salamat po talaga sa init ng support at pagmamahal yung binigay sa akin. It's hard to be far away from home, you know. Pero every time I see a Filipino, you know, would send me a message of love, it meant a lot. It gives me the energy to really do well in the competition. And alam ko, maraming pinagdadaanan yung bansa natin ngayon. Maraming problema na kailangan ng solusyon. At kailangan nating magtulong-tulong. Kailangan natin mahalin muna yung sariling atin. At hindi tayo dapat magpaapi sa problema. Kasi Pilipino tayo, babangon at babangon tayo. At yung pangako ko, ilalaban ko talaga itong Miss Universe. Gagawin ko ang lahat-lahat para maging proud naman kayo sa akin. Mahal ko kayo. Palangga ko kamutanan.
I love that. Rabiya, you know what? Kung makita mo yung chat, lahat po nagsasabi ng we love you, Rabiya. We love you, Rab. Kaya mo yan. Sabi ni Migs, good luck. You got this. And sabi nga din ni Jovito, Filipinos are known to be resilient. You're making us proud. Mahal ka namin. Hopefully nakikita mo pa talaga lahat. They're all praying for you. We're all rooting for you. You already make us proud being there, being here with us today. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we feel that yung words mo nga talaga are coming from the heart. I think some of our fans are napapaiyak na din. Hopefully you're not too homesick po. Salamat talaga for all your words of wisdom and your energy with us. Sa mga lucky winners natin, mga media friends who joined us today, thank you so much for being here. Please watch out for the highlights of this video call on our Lazada social media pages. Don't forget, please, to like and share. So thank you again so much. Please enjoy the gifts that has been given you.